Hi there, coaches. My name is Rich Hargitt. I'm the head football coach at Emmett High School out here in Emmett, Idaho. I'm also the lead consultant for coaches all over the country with the surface to air system. If you have questions after watching this course, please put them down there in the comment section and we'll do the best we can to get back to you just as soon as we possibly can. Before we get started, it would be great if you would hit that like button on this video and also subscribe to the Surface to Air System YouTube channel if you've not already done so. That would really help us out. Thanks a lot, coaches. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that we have not really elaborated on in the past on YouTube, and that is something we call the disappearing quarter. Coaches, I think that one of the big reasons that you need to take a look at this disappearing quarter philosophy that term we've kind of coined in surface to air system is because of a significant change that has taken place in the game of high school football in just the last couple years. That significant change is the introduction of the 40-second play clock. I don't think it can be overstated that this is one of the most impactful changes strategically to the high school game that has happened perhaps in my entire career. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is the 25-second play clock. Let's go back in time a second. The 25-second play clock basically meant you get the call in, you call the play. It was very rushed. Okay. It was very quick. You had to make the decision, the ball is spotted, and suddenly you look up and there's only a few seconds left to make the decision. Well, what was happening is if you wanted to be a disappearing quarter guy 20, 30 years ago, you were going to still have to call 75 plays pretty effectively. Don't turn the ball over, use up as much time as you can. The simple answer was, man, I've got to be proficient. I've got to keep calling plays because I can only burn so much clock. Well, then the 40-second play clock comes along, and it was really designed to help those spread up-tempo football teams. But if you're wise about it and you maybe don't have the players, the athletes on the offensive side of the ball, this gives you a completely new opportunity to burn at least 15 extra seconds every snap. Because instead of a 25-second play clock, I have 40. And now, if I don't maybe have the offensive firepower to go score for score with you, I can at least burn off an extra 15 seconds every time I snap the ball. So what I think in a practical sense this has done is it's removed the need to be right. I'm air quoting the need to be right calling offensive plays from 73, 74, 75 times a game down to maybe 52, 53, 54. We actually won a game since they've introduced the 40-second play clock where we only snapped the ball 49 offensive snaps. Okay, I think that is a huge difference because I'm not being forced to call all these extra plays. I can burn up time, make that other quarter disappear, and I don't have to be right so often. So I think that's a really key point. And I don't think that everybody has fully grasped how useful that new 40-second play clock can really be. So again, let's really dive into this a little bit more and talk about a little bit more on the disappearing quarter. The problem is you, me, us, the typical American high school football team. Very, very seldom does a high school football team go into a game and just have completely equal talent to the team that's across the sideline from them. So when you don't have equal talent, what do? Well, that brings us to point two. What we tried first was to just shoot it out with our opponent. Try to score 50. If they score 50, try to score 51. If they score 60, try to score 61. That does work sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. What we tried next, number three, is to disappear a quarter. In other words, we've tried to utilize the clock, burn extra time, and get ourselves a 48-minute game pulled down to a 36-minute game. We have found that gives us better odds of winning. Now, the 40-second play clock is certainly in play here. Back when we had the 25-second play clock, you were somewhat under the gun. You had to hurry. The clock was running down. You're looking up. You see 12, 11, 10, 9. Suddenly, you're just shoving a call out there. The 40-second play clock has changed all that. I think it was created to help teams that want to go tempo to go faster. However, I think it has equally aided teams that wish to burn off more clock. and shorten the game. So let's move down to point number 4 and let's talk about the disappearing quarter philosophy. What I fundamentally believe as a member of surface to air system is that you need to apply the quarter philosophy based upon how good you are. You need to really know your opponent. That gets us to number 5. If your opponent is slow, less physical than you, less athletic than you, basically in short, you're better than them, then use the Gus Malzahn philosophy of the 5th quarter. Elongate the game, make it take 3.5 hours, get lots of clock stoppage, and give your athletes more bites at the apple. The more athletes you have, the more plays they need to run because the greater the likelihood they will score the more times they touch the ball. That almost never happens in Emmett, Idaho. The once or twice it has, we've done that. We just score as many points as we can, go as fast as we can. If we turn it over, we turn it over. But the goal is to get lots of plays, stop the clock, make the game long, use our conditioning, score a lot of points, win the game. It just hardly ever happens. So I moved down to number 7. The disappearing quarter. This is when the team is more athletic than you. Your opponent is just flat out better. You need to shorten the game. You need to give them less bites at the apple. You need to put their athletes on the sideline. You need to turn the game into a slow, methodical grind fest that gets over in 2 to 2.5 hours instead of 3 to 3.5 hours. Give them less opportunities to score, their athletes less touches, less possessions, break up the tempo of the game so their offense isn't as fluid, and don't let them get to a point total that you quite honestly can't reach. Along the way, the OC on the opposite sideline probably gets a little bit frustrated. His kids get frustrated, and they are likely to push themselves into an extra turnover, giving you a short field or an extra possession by which you can shorten the game even further and tighten the score up, creating a situation where you can spring the upset. So the next natural question becomes, how does one do this? How do you make a quarter disappear? The purpose of this short video is to talk to you about some of the ways we shorten the game or we disappear the quarter. We believe in the overall philosophy of the disappearing quarter. We have a course available on the Surface to Air System website currently called The Disappearing Quarter that will take you through an hour-long presentation and an overarching philosophy of how we do this, why we do this, and then we'll back it up with over 80 clips of game film from our 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 seasons. Those film clips will take you through the process of how we went from 1-8 to the state championship game, and along the way won back-to-back district championships at the smallest 4A school in the state of Idaho. If you're interested in that course, check out our website, www.surfacetoairsystem.com, and head over to the store and look for Disappearing Quarter. Or you can find us on social media on Twitter at S2A System or at Coach Hargitt, and you can certainly track the course down there as well. If you have trouble finding it, certainly just reach out to us and we'll help you locate it. We'll provide a few clips at the end of this video to give you a bit of a taste test for how we have disappeared a quarter in the past. But before we do, let's kind of run through a list. Letter A, you could huddle. Now, we only huddle maybe 8 to 10 times a game. So if you're a big proponent of no huddle, that's fine. No huddle slower. Okay, and you might say, well, Coach, what the heck does that mean? Get your kids on the ball and then don't signal anything for 10 seconds. Just let the first 10 seconds run off. Well, if you do that every play, every 4 plays, you're getting 40 seconds. Every 6 plays, you're getting an extra minute run off. So just don't do anything for 10 seconds. Signal the play in and then signal it again. That'll take another 5, 6, 7 seconds. Or switch personnel groupings or change formation. There's lots of ways to do that. Lots of ways to slow down your no huddle. Letter B, run the ball. We've been the number 1 rushing team in the state for the last 2 years, and it's helped us disappear a quarter more than once. Throw controlled passes. Letter C. I'm not saying don't take shots. Once you cross the 50-yard line, I think not only should you, but you can, and you'll get away with it. We do it, and we throw a lot of touchdowns once we cross the 50. but be conservative in how many deep shots you take as they stop the game, the clock stops, and the tempo slows down, and the defense gets a breather. Run the ball, throw controlled passes, letter D, get under center. Under center plays, as you will see if you purchase our course from Surface to Air System, create piles. They create debris. People fall down, bodies fall on top. It takes time to disassemble those piles, thereby burning more clock. As you run under center personnel on and then back off, it continues to burn time, helping you disappear a quarter. Change the surface, change formations, shift people, motion people, outright change the formation at the line of scrimmage, burning more time. Your management, your manipulation, and style of play calling. How fast you go, how fast you signal, whether you signal things once or twice, whether you have check with me's, freeze tempos, look over tempos. There's multiple ways for your style to come into play in disappearing more of that quarter. And then the last point, and it's a huge point, is game planning. At Surface to Air System, we utilize something called the BIG every week. The BIG is our basic integrated game plan, and it helps us discuss how much time we want to take, whether we want it to be a fast tempo game or a slow tempo game, and how we want to utilize our structural game plan in order to defeat a specific opponent. Over the past 2 years, we've gone 17-6. During that time, we've used the disappearing quarter philosophy multiple times to spring upsets over more high-powered opponents. Now, let's take a look at a few clips that will help you understand our philosophy of the disappearing quarter. All right, coaches, now we're going to take a look at some clips from, in this case, our 2019 season. So I came to Emmett in 2018. We were a fifth quarter, try to outscore every opponent team that first year. And then we really began utilizing the disappearing quarter the second year, a year where we missed the playoffs by only a game before finally starting to win district championships in 2020. And so as we take a look at these few clips, several of the things we discussed in the philosophy section will be apparent. First, when you see the sniffer tight end, we're going to motion him or shift him back out to 2x2. And then we have an easy controlled run play with a short RPO. Several philosophies in play right there, okay, including the take your time signaling the play, shift to something else, burning more time, easy run up the middle with short controlled passes on the edge, all that leads to more burned clock. Second play of this drive, now we move the tight end from a wing back to what we call an elk position in the backfield, run split zone, keep that ball north-south, first down. Okay, we take our time getting up, hand the ball to the official, don't rush. Next play, move the tight end again. Watch our tailback. We told our kids, try to stay in bounds. Okay, we didn't make a huge deal about it. We just said, when possible, try and stay in bounds. Okay, if you have those little tips you share with kids, that's part of your game management style. Okay, now not every time is that kid going to stay in bounds, but a lot of times he's going to remember that and make one more cut and stay in, and the clock's going to continue to run. You can see several of these runs. We're just keeping the ball between the hashes. Okay, here's a perimeter run. Tailback could have just ran out of bounds. Instead, he cuts back into the field, gets 2 more yards, tries to stay in bounds. Okay, again, just keep the ball moving north-south. Okay, and you can't really see the tempo here. Here's a throw, nice, easy, conservative throw. Kid cuts back, stays in bounds, gets 3 yards, keeps the clock running. Okay, now I don't want to create the illusion that we're never aggressive. There's another formational change. Waste some time. There's 4 verts. We're past the 50-yard line. Take your shot. Good pitch and catch gets us down in the red zone. Once we get down in the red zone, here's another really simple play. Okay, nice little power play. Keep it north-south. Just keep burning clock. Take 3 yards. You see our kids are showing no sense of urgency here. We're behind in this game by a score. It's okay. Take your time. Look at that nice, easy, controlled pass to the tailback. Stays in bounds. Now we switch to under center. Surface changes. Personnel changes. Runs up the middle. All things that keep clock moving. Keep burning time off. And then finally, a play action pass for a touchdown. That drive consumed over 4 minutes of clock. Now, it was a great drive because it ended in a touchdown, but it was also, for a second reason, a great drive because it burned up extra time that we kept this school that's triple our enrollment and really double our talent level off the field, frustrating them, not only keeping the ball away from them, but breaking the tempo and the timing of their offense. Their offense had just gone down and scored and taken the lead. Don't get a quick 3 and out, take no time off the clock, and give them the ball back to stay in rhythm and get a 2-for-1 special and put you down. So, again, that's part of our overall philosophy of the disappearing quarter. I hope this video was helpful for you, coaches. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you'd hit the like button and also subscribe to the Surface to Air System YouTube channel as well so we can reach more coaches. If you have questions, put them in the comments section below, and we would love to answer those, and we'll get back to you just as soon as we possibly can. You can reach me on Twitter at Coach Hargitt or the Surface to Air System account at S2A System, or you can head over to our website at www.surfacetoairsystem.com. I would also encourage you, coaches, when you head over to the website, check out the shop section or the store section and head in there and find our full-length course on the disappearing quarter, where not only do we go more in depth on our overall philosophy of the disappearing quarter, but we support it with game film, over 80 clips of game film from our last 4 football seasons. And we really take an in-depth study into how the disappearing quarter can give your football team an increased advantage in scoring wins over teams that might have a talent advantage over you. Again, coaches, we thank you for checking this video out. We look forward to speaking with you and dialogue with you further. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.